Hi friends, welcome to Software Testing Helps online training on Selenium on Java. I am Venkatesh Kiran from Bangalore, India. I have over 20 years of industry experience with multiple roles including development, testing and training. So you can see my full profile at the mentioned LinkedIn URL. So this course Selenium, as you know, Selenium is an open source test automation scripting framework. Basically, it is not a tool, it is a set of APIs. Okay, it's a collection of language-specific bindings in the sense that Selenium exists, these APIs, application programming interface, exists for C#, Java, Python, Ruby, Perl, PHP, right? Primarily, Selenium is a free open source set of APIs used to automate web applications, okay, for testing purposes. But many people, as I know personally, are using Selenium to drive their online, usage of many websites as well. That's individual interest. You can use Selenium for anything. You can, as Selenium is written in Java, you can convert that into a jar file and then execute the jar file. So if you have Flipkart, you want to buy a particular product on a Flipkart, so you can even automate that. So every time, if you're a regular buyer, okay, so you can come out with a logic saying that, okay, on certain days you want to buy some electronic goods, or certain days you want to buy some other items. So you can just change the parameters for that and pass it on to your script. It will take from the purchase the complete. It will drive the application till you are come to the last page. So Selenium can be used in such a manner. It's very easy to learn. You can create a very robust regression automation test suites, right? You can even distribute the test scripts across multiple environments. That means systems having different OS, different versions of browsers as well. Okay, and moreover, Selenium these days are being utilized. The complete Selenium framework is being utilized, to create other technologies, frameworks, in the sense that you might be knowing about Appium, a very popular mobile automation framework, is based on Selenium again. It has extends the functionality of Selenium. Like that, you have Cucumber, which seamlessly integrates, okay, Selenium with the behavior driven development concept. So likewise, Selenium is becoming more and more popular these days. Okay. Now we are in Selenium 3 today. Selenium 3 has been recently released. We are in Selenium 3.2.0. But way back in 2003, 2004, Selenium IDE was developed. It was developed to drive the web application, but as an add-on for Firefox browser. So no programming was included there. You just have to record a series of actions and you have to replay those actions. Then came Selenium 1.0. It was called remote control because for the first time, programming languages were introduced. That means you can extract the data from a CSV file or text file or an Excel sheet. You can create programming structure. You can create loops. You can create conditions. Based on certain condition, you can execute your script. So these kind of programming elements were introduced. So C#, Java, Perl, Python, Ruby, and PHP supported Selenium 1.0. Now it is obsolete. It is no more in use. For projects purpose, in your real-time projects, you should use Selenium 2 if you are not ready to move to Selenium 3 yet. Okay. So in 2010, Selenium 2, called as WebDriver, came into existence. Was developed. It became hugely popular among Selenium community. So it has various, it's a purely object oriented. So Selenium 2 supported 4 languages: C#, Java, Python, and Ruby. Of course, Perl and PHP is also supported, but offline. That is Selenium. That means Perl community and PHP community are supporting from the backend. Now we are in Selenium 3. It's also called WebDriver. Not much changes has happened. Okay, there are some minor changes. Okay, so for this course, we are dealing with Selenium 3. But remember, if you know Selenium 2, you know Selenium 3, and if you know Selenium 3, you can write scripts with Selenium 2. So commands like the classes, the interfaces, so all the programming elements are all similar from Selenium 2 to 3. Not much differences happen. Okay, but a very important under the hood changes has happened. Okay, but we as Selenium users, okay, we don't have to worry about the internal changes. What we worry about it is there any new commands, new things happening is there where I have to learn. Not much is there. Okay, it's very minor things we can learn. We can move from Selenium 2 to Selenium 3. About this course is a very comprehensive 46 hours of hands-on practical workshop. In sense, okay, just like an instructor-led training happens, instructor is there in front of you, is sharing his experience, is sharing his knowledge, is giving you assignments, he is telling how you can drive, that you people will do it along with the instructor itself, okay, in your laptops or desktops, whatever your training venue training center has. In the same way, this online course will also happen. Please understand. Right? So that means to say that I, as a trainer, mentor, I expect you people to install, to configure Selenium in your laptops and then sit with me and then do it. So I will also be doing with you, and you will learn online explanations, concepts will be explained throughout. So you should be quite aware, and you should be alert during the 2 hours every day. That's it. Okay. So what will you expect from this particular 46 hours of practical workshop? We cover almost 99% of the topics required for you to drive your test automation projects. Right at the outset, Java for beginners is covered, which is required for Selenium. So those who doesn't know Java need not worry. Right. So we are covering Java, which is required for Selenium. So, and one more thing, you don't have to be an expert in Java. You don't have to be a developer in Java in order to learn Selenium. If you know any programming language for that matter, it's more than enough. Java is covered, okay, so which is required for Selenium. Now, understanding Selenium WebDrivers. Selenium WebDriver 2.0 and 3.0 is called WebDrivers because basically a web application is driven by a set of interfaces and classes. Okay, Java object-oriented concepts. All right. So there are several WebDrivers for different browsers. So we will see, we'll understand how a Selenium drives the web browser. Okay, and the application contained in the browser. Understanding object locators. This is a very important topic, forms the backbone of any test automation projects in Selenium. Right. In the sense that without locating an object, one thing we need to remember at this point of time is that a web browser is being interacted by the end user. That means when you open an application, okay, you type in the URL of an application. Let us take example of a Gmail. You type in www.gmail.com, then the login page comes, you enter your valid username and password in the text boxes, and you click on the submit button, the next page appears. And we say that Gmail has recognized our, authenticated our login details. Now, when you interact with this, you are actually interacting with the applications through these objects, text boxes and button there, right? So that's how. The Selenium has to understand, okay, there is a text box with a particular name. It has to enter a particular detail on a text box. There's a command button called submit. It has to click on the command button. And that is what is understanding all about object locators. So we are covering this very extensively. It's one of my favorite topic in the test automation using Selenium. All right. So it will be covered in details. Working with web objects, as I was just previously explaining, web objects are the web elements within a page. Text boxes, radio buttons, check boxes, command buttons, list boxes, all these are web objects. So when a user is interacting with the web application, he is in turn indirectly working on the web objects. That means I know a button is there, I have to click on it. I know a text box, I have to enter the data. I know a selection box is there, I have to select the data from the selection box, so on and so forth. Right. So Selenium has various ways of interacting these web objects. So we will see in greater length. The script we write in handling these web objects forms the core part of any test automation written in Selenium. So understanding the various working of these web objects forms a very, very important part of a automation tester. Right? So one of the popular unit testing framework written in Java for Selenium users, for testers particularly in particular, is the test next generation, TestNG, right? So this is it has become very, very popular now among the Selenium community to drive the test execution. I write a Selenium test script to drive the application. So how do I execute it? My one test case is depending on another test case. Okay, I need to set up priority for order of execution for our test cases written in Selenium. So we make use of TestNG. So TestNG is covered what is required for the project. TestNG is a very, very huge topic, very, very huge topic. So we are covering here what is required to drive Selenium test cases. So online, when you are inside the project, okay, you might come across various other features of TestNG, wherein you will be able to understand easily by looking into this, a certain 20 to 30%, okay, for TestNG driven is to drive Selenium test cases. Lastly, of course, the grid is very, very important. Okay, grid is useful in spawning our test scripts across multiple browsers or even platforms, right? So grid is a concept where you drive a master slave or a client server environment. In Selenium, the terminology is called as a hub and a node. Okay, so you connect this hub and a node, and from the hub, you drive the test cases across various node systems. All right, so very useful if you have thousands of test scripts. Okay, executing all those test scripts in one desktop system or a laptop system would take more time than executing under 5 or 6 or even 10, spawning the test cases across 10 machines. All right, so that is our grid. So for more details about this course, you can log on to this particular, visit this page, softwaretestinghub.org Selenium training online course. Okay, please remember this is a 100% hands-on session. That means it is not, we are not using any PPDs or for trying to just give theoretical knowledge on this. You have to do it, but at the end of 46 hours, you will be comfortable in kickstarting your Selenium test automation projects. So who this course is for? It's for everybody. Okay, who feel very comfortable in coding. It's something like an automation tester, whether no matter what, whether you're in Selenium or QTP or RFT. Okay, so we have to have a developer mindset. That means developers is coding. Okay, so logic, analysis. Okay, so we need to have most of these characteristics of the features of a developer. We need to have features of a tester. Right? That means our main idea is to find the defect in the application. So our Selenium script or any automation tool aids an automation tester to write a script, okay, and then drive the application to find the defect. So we need to have this developer and the tester mindset also, okay. And obviously, those who are interested in learning Selenium. So in a nutshell, all Selenium topics required to start your test automation project is covered in this course. So you can be well confident that at the end of the 46 hours, okay, you will be well versed and very much comfortable in Selenium. Now let us see how we can work with various web objects. For a promo sample, I have taken a sample application, okay, with a few web objects. So I will show you as part of a demonstration purpose, okay, how you can work with Selenium. All right. So for Selenium, we require Eclipse editor. Okay, so Eclipse is built on Java. We use and we configure that. So first important thing is we need to create a project in Eclipse. So Java project. So we'll give a good name here. Selenium STH, and I have a default JRE, configure JRE part. And let us add a Selenium library files because we would like to have a Selenium with Java. So I will take this 2.53.1. Okay, then finish. So you can see that source file, the JR system library and the Selenium library files have been included in the projects. So we will create a package. Okay, I will call it as GMO. Then we will create a class. So I call it GMO online, public static void main. So a Java program will consist of at least one class with one main method, which is the entry to the program from the Java virtual machine. Now let us drive this. So first important thing is when driving web application, how does a manual tester does or even an end user? He opens a browser, then he enters the URL into the application and then drives it. So in a similar way, we have to do this. So how do we? First thing is in Selenium, you have a interface called WebDriver. I'll call it as WD shortcut. Okay. So we have to drive a particular browser. I will take example of Chrome here. So we'll take a WebDriver WD Chrome driver. Okay. So you can see Chrome driver. So just you have to import in Java. It's one of the thing is you have to import the packages from where the classes or the interfaces resides. So you have an import statement. Okay, don't worry, all these things will be covered fully in our course. Okay, now with Chrome driver, I need to set a system property. Okay, called WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, and then place a Chrome driver. Okay, so my Chrome driver, let me open the Explorer. You can see that now for my Explorer has opened. So I need to look into the path where I have saved the Chrome driver. So you can see there are Chrome drivers here. So I will take this Chrome driver. Okay, Chrome driver forms, it's like a, a mediator between middleware between your browser, Chrome browser and Selenium, right? So without Chrome driver, you will not be able to interact with the Chrome browser. Okay, so we need to set this path. We don't have to install anything. We just have to set the path. Okay, so you have here, and I will take this Chrome / for Java. Okay. Now we have cleared this Chrome driver. Now let us execute and check, okay, the Chrome browser opens or not. Okay, so just I will save this first and then we'll just run as Java application. You can see that the Chrome driver is opened up and you can see that the Chrome browser has opened up, right? So this is how Selenium interacts with the web browser. Right? Now, next, after opening the browser, usually what we do, we navigate to a particular application. Okay. For our application, I will take up demo.borland.com/gmo post. So take this and say wd dot, you can see list of methods available for this particular WebDriver interface is available for us now. We will choose get method in order to pass on the URL as a string. So that means when I say wd.get and pass on the URL, Selenium will actually navigate to that particular application URL, right? And then we will maximize wd.manage.window.maximize. That means this command, this particular line of code will maximize the Chrome browser. Right. Now we will start interacting with the objects. Now how do we do it? So you can see that there is various objects. The button is the objects over here. I would like to click on this enter GMO online button. Now how do I do it? First thing is I have to locate the appropriate identification property of this button and then click on it. Okay. For this we will use Firefox add-on Firebug and Firepath, and Selenium identifies these web objects as I was telling you. Okay, so with various methods. One is XPath and CSS selector, which we are going to see it in detail under web locators, object locators topic. Okay, so here I will use a simple method here. And you can see that it is located this particular web object. I can cut short this. I will tell XPath to get me the object which has an input tag and which has a name property be submit. This also identifies, or I can say get me the object which has a value property enter GMO online. Okay, so I will take this and I will say I will create a web element. We'll call it as, okay, I'll call it as button, more readable. Okay, I will say web element is from again org.openqa.selenium. Okay, I say in the WebDriver, that is the page pointed to by WebDriver, WD is pointing to this page now, demo.borland.com/gpon. I want to find an element by, here I have taken a XPath. Okay, so by what? I will say by XPath having the expression /input at name equals b submit. Okay, so the reference of this particular object enter GMO online button will be now stored in the button. Okay, or in the more elegant way, I can tell the button now refers, okay, will have a reference to the object name, okay, enter GMO online button on the application. Right now I have to click on it. I will say button dot click. Okay, now let us see what happens. I will save this and you can see that I have opened a Firefox browser here, but I am using Chrome driver, so our script should execute on a Chrome browser. Okay, so right click, run as Java application. So you can see Chrome browser as I've gone maximized, clicked on the button, we have come to the next page here, right? So this is how you interact with the button object. Likewise, now we will start with this. Okay, one by one I will drive, and for demonstration purpose, I will write a script which goes end to end. That means till the last page of this application, come back to home page and close the browser. Okay, now in this online catalog page, we have to enter some item quantity here and click place an order button. So as usual, I will take this one of this object. You can see that its the name is quantity glasses. Okay, I will use this name property now because previously I used XPath. Now I will use the name property. All right. So I have to tell Selenium in the next page. Okay, it is a text box, so I will say web element, or you can say quantity field. In the page pointed to by WebDriver, that is online catalog page, find the element by having the name. Okay, what is the name of this text box? It is quantity underscore glasses. Now already there is 0 in this text box. So before entering some data, I need to clear this text box. So I have quantity field dot. You can see there is a method called clear, and a qty field dot. You have a method called send keys, which will send whatever the value you have mentioned within the quotes. Send keys takes the characters, so even if it is a number, we have to enclose within the quotes. Okay. Then obviously click on this place an order button. Now let me take this fire path, and you can see that it highlights this particular text. That means the place an order button has a name property be submit, value property place an order. So I can take this value property place an order and derive an XPath here, or I can use by.name be submit. Okay, let me use by.name be submit directly here. Okay, I will say, see, button is already there with me, so I will reuse that button. Button equals wd dot find element by dot name. I will say b submit. Then I will say button dot click. Okay. So next, so I enter some data in quantity glasses, and then I click place order button. Now in this place order page, we have to interact with proceed with order. I will just look into it, and then you can see even this has a name B submit. Okay, but I already have a B submit here. If I try to copy this, if I do it anyway, it will drive that, but I will get confused. So what we do as a tester, it is better to distinguish between the objects. Now I will take a value attribute, and I will tell to Selenium, get me an object which has a value property, proceed with order. Okay, so here we will replace double quote with a single quote. So I'll take the XPath here. So I will use the same thing. And I will replace this XPath with XPath. Okay, so please remember this is page 1, this is page 2, and this is page 3. In page 3, we don't have to mention anything, but we have to just click on it. Okay, click on this button to proceed. Okay, next. Once you proceed with order, you will get a billing information page. Now what you have to do, you have to fill in all the details in the check boxes. Okay, enter the card number, expiration date, click on the checkbox, and you click on the place the order button. So one by one we will see what. The identification property of this name text box is bill name. The identification property of address text box is bill address. Now you can see that all these bill name, bill address, likewise you have bill city, bill state, bill zip code, bill phone, bill email. So we have to first derive the web element. Okay, I will take a web element. You can see that here we have used web element, here we have used web element. Okay, I could have reused this for all the objects, but that is not a best practice. Okay, so for readability's sake, if any defects arises, we can pinpoint which object has a problem. So for all these text boxes, okay, I will take one web element. So here I will say, I will take another variable or an object, web element, bill element. Okay, I will take bill element. Now here I will, one by one I will do it. Bill element equals, I can say wd dot find element by dot name. Okay, so name is here, bill name. I will say dot. I don't have to even use this. I will cut short of this. Okay, so instead of having no, I will directly use bill name. I can directly use send keys, and I will give the name. Likewise, I have bill address, city, state, zip, phone, email. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to copy this 8 times. Because all have a name attribute, I can easily. Okay. Now all I have to do is change it from bill name to bill address here. So bill address I will give Bangalore. Bill city is, oh sorry, I'll use the same Bangalore here. So it has a bill state. Just a short format. And then you have bill zip code. I'll just give 5 digits. Bill telephone. I'll give 10 digits for telephone. So bill email. It's any valid email format. So I can say my name at blr.in. Okay, then you have card number. Card number I will give 15 digits. And then I'll have card expiration date. This is card date. It is mm/yy. Okay, so I'll give this. And then I have to click on this checkbox. It is similar to button, dot click. That's it. You can see again it has a name property. So I can directly use this. dot click. Then I have to click on this place order button, place the order. Again, it has name is equal to b submit, value place the order. So what I do is I will take the same thing here and here it is place the order in place of proceed with order, right? So just change this dot click. So once you click on this, I'll just give some dummy data here. You can see once you click the ship to, all these details will be copied onto it, so we don't have to separately enter the data. Now you have online store receipt. We have to click on the return to home page. So what I'll do here, I'll simply say again, I will take the object locator of return to home page. We can see name is equal to b submit, value is equal to return to home page. So I will use the same method again over here. Okay, return to home page dot click. What we will do is after clicking, as you know, we go from one page to another page. So here we will introduce a small delay. wd dot manage dot timeouts dot page load timeout. I will give a small delay of 5 seconds here so that once I click till the next page comes, okay, let us wait, let the script wait for 5 seconds at most. Okay. So wherever you encounter the wd.manage.timeouts, you should see, you should understand that we are actually going into the next page, right? So button.click, this is a proceed with order, and this is a billing page. So we have another, and we will come back to. So what we do here, after this we will introduce another command to capture the page title. So this page title, so we know we have navigated to the page title. So here I will use navigated to wd dot. We will have a method called get title. wd is pointing to this particular page. When you say wd dot get title, it will give you the page title. Okay, so let us take this here like this. Then navigated back. You can see that once you click on the return to home page, it comes back to the home page. So back to this, and ultimately I will say quit. Okay, so this is how a series of commands Selenium. It's so simple, elegant to use, especially with the Java. Okay, so let me run this and let's see what actually happens. Okay, so run as. So browser opened, maximize, click on the enter GM online button, enter the data, you can see that, click on the proceed with order, enter the names, click on and then close. Now ultimately you will get a result like this. Navigated to these pages accordingly and back to welcome to page. Okay, so this is how we interact with the web objects. So during the course, okay, you will learn more of it. We will take several other applications and create a robust scripts, modular scripts, create several methods. Okay, and Drive will know how in real time Selenium test scripts are written for the automation, test automation. So hopefully you have understood. So far we have covered. So hope to see you during the course. Thank you very much.